Is it challenging? It is challenging, I'm sure, but more challenging in 2018 being a woman of color with a grind that's so successful, or are you finding that the ceiling is being removed? Maybe
so
you can answer that.
Sure. And then Nasya, certainly you can answer. I think two things. One, life is as challenging, I think, as you want it to be. Like every day, every second can be so challenging and painful, and especially in this hyper, not only capitalistic, but hyper intense world where we see all the isms are just out in our face. They're just blatant in our faces enough to make you just never want to get out of bed. Right. So you got that. And then you got to make money because you got to live, because you need money to live. Right. And then if you're in a position where you're a leader, or you're in a position where there are not a lot of people that look like you, in whatever form that is, it could be gender, it could be ethnicity, it could be race, it could be any number, socioeconomic status. All of those things can be challenging, or it could be a game. So for me, I prefer to look at it all as a game, and therefore there is no ceiling. Right? Because it's like when Nasya was little, we used to play this game. Remember Abe's Odyssey?
Oh, that was terrifying.
It was scary. It was a scary game. But, right? But Abe's Odyssey was like, it was really scary. But Abe had to go through this stuff, right? And it was, Abe's Odyssey, it was like a PS2.
Wait, what is Abe's Odyssey?
Abe's
Odyssey,
it was a Tekken 2 era.
It was like a tech, it was this old school, but it was like, back in the day, that was kind of like modern. But
it's like game Spyro. It's like all those kind of games.
Yeah, and it was like Abe was this little guy who was in this post-apocalyptic community. And he wasn't quite human. He was like a humanoid. And he was like working. He was just grinding it up every day, just grinding it out. And then he realized, wait, there's got to be a better world. And so, because what he realized was that what they were grinding, and they were being fed this stuff. And so everybody that was on the conveyor belt line that were working together, they were all his people. And then the people that were above them was this kind of like scary monster hand,
leg people.
Yeah, they were horrible. So it turns out that they were eating themselves. That right. Yes. So okay. So I just told you a lot about my parenting skills. But that I had my little girl playing this. But this idea that they were cannibals and they didn't know it. That the man was making them do all this stuff, and they were just going because that's the only life. And so it was one guy named Abe who realized, shoot, there's got to be a better way. So he went on this odyssey to get out and to free everybody. And sometimes he would walk up to someone and be like, hi. And sometimes people would say, hey. And he would be like, you want to come with me? And they were like, okay. And so now you're walking with someone else. But sometimes those people turned on you. Remember that?
Yep.
That was scary. Yep. So you always had to keep your eyes out, the eyes open and looking around. And in the midst of all this stuff coming after you, and like you might blow up, and he'd be like, uh-oh, boom, right? With all of that was the end result, which was nirvana, that he freed everyone, that he took down the man and he freed everyone, right? And so in the game, if you look like Abe and you were standing right next to Abe, you would say, dang, this is hard, this is challenging work, there's a ceiling. But if you were Abe and you looked at left to right and up and down, you're like, yeah, this is really hard, but I want to get out and I want to take you with me. Let's go. Let's do this together. I need you for us to get to do this together.
And he would say, like, sometimes they would get really angry, and you could see them getting angry or sad, and they would cry, and it was really depressing. And he would like shake them, like literally like, wait, get out of it. We got to free our people.
We got to free our people. It was it was an amazing game.
Yeah, it was.
And she was really little playing it, but it was so much fun. And so I look at life in that same way. That yes, there's a ceiling, but I also believe that anything is possible. And so like what Nasya said, which is I think was so beautifully put, that when I put my head on the pillow at night, I could be like upset about something or sad or nervous or any emotion that's not feeding my soul. And then I remember, well, wait, this isn't about me, right? I'm fine. I'll be fine. This is about the little Valerie who may not even be born yet. The little Valerie who's sitting in a community that, and she looks around and she doesn't see anything. And she doesn't know that there's possibility, right? And so to me, it's like, yeah, we can get caught up in the maze, or we can break free and look at it as like a game, because it's a game and I'm out to win it.
Wow.
You know?
But also.